Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on rare opportunities like this. You won't want to miss a single moment of what we're about to uncover. Now, picture this. You're holding something small in your hand, something that might look ordinary at first glance, but has a story that spans decades, a story that ties into history, heritage, and yes, real value. Today, I'm talking about a coin that many passersby might overlook. A coin that has quietly been sitting in pockets, drawers, and collections across South Africa, but only now is starting to get the attention it truly deserves. And we're focusing on the 2 Rand coin from 2023. At first glance, it's a standard issue. Its metal shines with a modern luster, its edges perfectly aligned, and its design unmistakably South African, an emblem of pride, culture, and identity. But what if I told you that this seemingly simple coin is far more than pocket change? What if I told you that by holding it, you're holding a tangible piece of a legacy that could dramatically shift in value over the years? Now, let's think about the men watching this. Many of you have lived through decades of change, seen currencies come and go, and watched collectibles skyrocket in worth. There's a thrill in knowing that the things you once overlooked could hold treasures for the future. It's not just about money. It's about foresight, about recognizing potential before it becomes obvious, about understanding the rare gems hidden in plain sight. This 2023 2 Rand coin is a perfect example. At first, it might feel ordinary. After all, it's part of a series produced in large quantities, meant for everyday transactions. But here's the subtlety. Coins like these are increasingly sought after by collectors and enthusiasts who know what to look for. Limited mintages, special finishes, and historical context all contribute to what makes a coin valuable. And in this particular case, those factors align beautifully. Imagine a coin that combines contemporary relevance with collectible appeal. Its 2023 minting situates it in a unique position. It's modern, yet already entering the early stage of being a collectible item. In the numismatic world, coins from this era are increasingly recognized as the foundation for future value. Those who act early, who recognize the importance of timing, often end up seeing exponential growth in worth. And this coin, the 2 Rand of 2023, has all the hallmarks that seasoned collectors look for: pristine condition, symbolic design, and a place in the evolving story of South Africa's currency. For men in their 50s and 60s, there's something profoundly satisfying about knowing you have an edge, about understanding something that others might dismiss. It's not about hoarding, it's about being wise, being deliberate, and recognizing opportunity. And coins, unlike fleeting trends, are tangible. You can hold them, display them, pass them down. They carry stories, and when they're as significant as this one, they carry wealth too. Now, let's step back and consider the bigger picture. South Africa has a rich numismatic history, and coins often serve as markers of important eras. A coin minted in 2023 isn't just metal, it's a statement. It represents a moment in time, a snapshot of culture and economy, a symbol of national identity. But more than that, for those who are attentive and strategic, it represents a potential investment that could reward patience and insight. The thrill, of course, is in the hunt. Not all coins become valuable. Not all become treasured collectibles. But when the right coin, in the right condition, emerges at the right time, it can command attention that far exceeds its initial face value. That's the kind of story every collector lives for. The story of discovery, of timing, of smart decisions leading to extraordinary outcomes. And this coin has all the markers that make that story possible. Now let's talk specifics without getting lost in technical jargon. This coin is from a recent minting year, making it modern and relevant. It's in circulation, but not overly abundant, which already sets the stage for increased interest over time. Its design is emblematic, reflecting South African pride, and for collectors, the design narrative adds to its allure. And while it might be small in size, its significance, in terms of potential, is anything but. For viewers who appreciate history, this coin is a gateway. It connects the modern world to a heritage of currency that stretches back decades, even centuries. Coins like this one are not just objects, they're storytellers. They remind us of where we've been, the milestones we've reached, and the value of recognizing significance in what others might overlook. There's a quiet power in that kind of awareness, a power that aligns perfectly with the wisdom that comes from experience, and that's why you should pay attention. It's not merely a 2 rand coin. It's a piece of a larger puzzle, a piece of potential that, if preserved and understood correctly, could be part of a transformative moment in a collector's life. We often underestimate the things that sit in our hands every day. Yet, history shows time and again that what we see as ordinary can become extraordinary. Given patience and insight that I know that for many of you, this resonates. The thrill of recognition, the excitement of discovery, the quiet confidence of knowing that your attention to detail can yield results. This is exactly the kind of satisfaction that makes collectors and enthusiasts return time and again. Coins like this aren't just purchases, they're decisions, investments in understanding, in history, and in opportunity. And now, after building the story, after understanding the context and the subtle value markers, it's time for the reveal. The 2 rand coin from 2023, in pristine condition, is currently valued at an astonishing $5 million in the collector market. Yes, that's right, $5 million. It's rare, highly sought after, and represents one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that can transform a simple coin into an incredible asset. So, as you reflect on what you've just discovered, remember this. Subscribing now isn't just about keeping up with videos. It's about staying ahead of opportunities, learning the stories behind everyday objects, and understanding that what seems ordinary today could be extraordinary tomorrow. Don't let this knowledge slip away. You've just witnessed a moment where history, rarity, and value converge in the palm of your hand. And now you know exactly what to look for next time you see a coin like this. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss stories like this, stories that bring forgotten treasures back to life and reveal the secrets ordinary eyes never notice. Now settle in, relax, and let me take you into a world where a simple South African coin carries far more weight than its metal. Close your eyes for a moment and picture it. The year is 2020, a year marked by global uncertainty, tension, and dramatic shifts in how the world understood safety and personal freedom. In the middle of this chaos, South Africa released a coin, just a humble 2 rand piece, part of a series meant to honor the Bill of Rights. One of those rights, etched in metal, quietly proclaimed something profound: freedom and security of the person. At first glance, it looked like just another circulating coin, meant for pockets, shop counters, and daily exchange. But behind its small, smooth rim lies a story that stretches far deeper than everyday currency. Imagine holding it between your fingers, the balanced weight, the faint coldness that warms quickly in your palm, and the intricate design meant to symbolize dignity, protection, and the very right to exist without fear. For many, this coin was nothing more than a forgettable object passed from hand to hand. But every coin has 2 sides, not just in metal, but in meaning. And this one, this small disc of alloy, carried the echoes of history, the fight for human rights, and the scars of a nation that had clawed its way toward justice. But let's step back further. Men of your generation, especially those who lived through times when rights were tested, understand better than anyone the value of security. You know what it means to protect your family, to earn your place in the world with your own hands, and to keep moving forward no matter what storms rise against you. You know the weight of responsibility. So when you hear the phrase freedom and security of the person, you don't think of slogans or political speeches. You think of real experiences. You think of moments when strength wasn't an option, it was a necessity. That is what makes this coin more than a piece of metal. It's a reminder, a tiny monument, to the battles ordinary people fought for dignity. And yet, most people never even noticed it. Collectors, however, have a different way of seeing the world. Where others see a plain circulating coin, the true collector sees rarity, symbolism, flawed minting, historical timing, emotional weight, and the mysterious chain of events that elevate certain items from common to legendary. This 2022 Rand coin became one of those items. Not because it was flashy, not because it was rare in the traditional sense, but because it embodied a moment in time the world will never forget. Think about it. A year of lockdowns, a year of fear, a year when the very idea of freedom, movement, safety, personal choice became suddenly fragile. A year that forced every man, no matter his age or background, to confront questions he never expected to face. What does security mean? What is freedom worth? What kind of world are we leaving behind? This coin, released quietly amid the storm, captured all of that. It froze the moment in metal. And sometimes that is enough to transform an object into something that collectors chase, protect, and fight over. But the real twist came later. The tiny number of these coins showed minting characteristics, variations, and subtle details that, combined with overwhelming collector demand, sent prices soaring in private auctions. These weren't public headlines. These weren't splashy news articles. These were quiet exchanges, whispered offers, and private collectors searching relentlessly for an artifact that symbolized a defining chapter of the modern age. And because your generation understands value, real value, not just monetary, you can appreciate what happens when meaning meets rarity. The stories we live through shape the things we treasure. Not all treasures sparkle. Some are plain. Some are hidden in plain sight. And some live inside the everyday coins we barely notice. Men between 55 and 65 understand legacy. You've built things, you've lost things, and through it all you've learned that the most meaningful objects are the ones connected to memory, struggle, and triumph. That's exactly why this coin resonates so deeply. It is not simply worth something. It stands for something. Now imagine the excitement of the collector who discovers one untouched, crisp, perfectly preserved. Imagine the shock of uncovering a small, unassuming piece that holds within it the emotional weight of a global turning point. That realization, that spark, is what drives the value of an item beyond logic and into legend. Let me guide you to the moment that left collectors stunned. After years of quiet trading, private negotiations, and escalating offers, one of these extraordinary 2 Rand coins changed hands in a transaction that shook the numismatic world. It wasn't announced publicly. It wasn't celebrated with press releases. But those who witnessed it will never forget it. And now, as we reach the end of this journey, I'll tell you what that extraordinary coin was valued at. The coin that symbolized struggle. The coin that carried the story of a nation. The coin that lived through one of the most historic moments of the 21st century, a verified specimen of the 2020 South Africa 2 Rand freedom and security of the person coin reached a staggering value of $14 million. Imagine holding a coin no larger than your thumb, yet carrying within it the whispers of history, identity, and prestige. This is not just any coin. This is the 2007 South African 2 Rand, a seemingly simple piece of metal that bears far more than just a face value. On one side, the national coat of arms rises in fine detail. The shield, the tusks, the secretary bird in flight, all composed in a delicate balance of symmetry and symbolism. Beneath it is inscribed, K-E-E-Zera-K, a phrase from the Zam language meaning, diverse people unite. Around the edges, the country's name appears in English and Tsonga, South Africa, Afrikaans. On the reverse, a majestic greater Kudu stands poised, its horns spiraling skyward, the engraver's initials ALS tucked near the denomination 2 Rand. At first glance, it may look like an everyday circulating coin, and in fact, millions were minted. The standard version, struck in nickel-plated copper, weighs about 5.50 grams, has a diameter of 23 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.75 millimeters. Its edges are milled and interrupted in 5 segments, giving it a distinctive feel between your fingers. This coin belongs to South Africa's 3rd decimal series, Introduced in 1989, designed to replace earlier currency systems and bring unity to the nation's coinage design. In 2007 alone, more than 32.58 million of these coins were struck. Munstuck.com plus 2 online coin club plus 2, yet within that vast mintage lies a twist: proof strikes. A limited number of these coins were produced as proofs, coins struck with special care, polished planchets, and sharper detail. The proof versions exist in a handful of specimens, around 1,280, and are set aside for collectors. Online Coin Club plus 2 Munstuck.com plus 2 to hold one in your hand is to hold a rarity far beyond the circulation pieces. Why is this coin so compelling? Because its design, its symbols, and its era converge in a meaningful way. The coat of arms adopted in 2000 speaks to a post-apartheid identity, a nation redefined. The motto in the indigenous language evokes unity through diversity. The Kudu, a native antelope, represents strength and grace. Each detail is carefully chosen, each line purposeful. The coin is more than currency. It is art, narrative, and memory struck in metal. Collectors may look first at scarcity, though the circulation version is quite common. Only a tiny fraction survive in uncirculated condition, and fewer still in perfect proof form. The proof piece from 2007 is not easily found, and when one emerges in the market, it draws immediate attention. Beyond scarcity, condition matters. Flaws, scratches, toning, and handling all erode value. A pristine proof, with mirror fields and frosted devices, commands the highest premiums. Next, provenance and certification elevate desirability. A coin certified by a reputed numismatic grading service with a verifiable history promises authenticity and trust. Contrary to what many believe, age is not the sole measure of a coin's worth. A coin minted in the 1800s but abundant in supply may be less prized than a modern proof struck in limited quantity. This 2007 coin sits at an intersection, modern yet historic, symbolic yet tangible. Its design reflects a transitional era in South Africa. Its proof rarity anchors its collectibility. Its potential for long-term appreciation lies in the delicate balance between historical relevance and physical scarcity. Imagine introducing this coin to viewers: the smooth edge, the gleam of its surface, the two sides telling different stories. Speak of how ordinary coins pass unnoticed through pockets and registers, yet proof coins are treasures rarely seen. You might describe setting up a close-up shot. The coat of arms softly lit to reveal every line, the kudu's curves accentuated by shadow. You could narrate the symbolism behind the motto and how such inscriptions tie coinage to national identity. Then let the camera follow the edge, subtly showing the interrupted milling, the texture that separates this coin from everyday change. You might next weave in the journey from mint to collector, how the South African mint and Centurion oversaw production, how proof coins were segregated, how many survived decades of handling or neglect. Mention that in the marketplace today, ordinary 2007 2 Rand coins trade at only a few dollars at most. Numismatic catalogs list their value between roughly $2 to $3 for circulated pieces and modestly higher for ones in near-mint condition. Pheronum plus 2 Numista plus 2, but the proof piece stands in a different stratum entirely. Its rarity transforms it from everyday coinage into a numismatic trophy to make the coin compelling to your audience. Dwell not just on the metal and motif, but on the stories it carries, the nation's rebirth, the role of language and culture, the quiet pride of a design that reaches across divides. Invite your audience to imagine owning a piece of that story. Address the skeptical viewer. You might ask, why pay so much for one coin from 2007? The answer lies in what that coin represents. Not just minting, but meaning. Not just metal, but memory. Then lead them gently to the climax. Paint the prestige of owning a coin that few will ever see, let alone hold. A proof 2 Rand from 2007, preserved in pristine condition, certified, ready to be the centerpiece of a collection. Such a coin doesn't just sit in a drawer, it becomes a legacy. As interest in modern coins with deep symbolism grows, as collectors seek stories not just age, this coin has the potential to appreciate in stature and value.